fun topic and something I spent a good amount of my career working on. But to sum it up, people and companies that want to do sensor analytics usually start with some piece of hardware, and not just one piece of hardware, usually a fleet of things in the field. And at the end, they want to build some application. They want to garner some insights from them. What's in the middle? I think that's what this amorphous bubble of sensor analytics is, and we decompose and talk about it in 4 ways. First, you have to create a model for what's going out there in the world. The reason you deploy a sensor or a device is you want to create a model and understand what's actually happening in the real world. So we provide a platform, and one of the pieces of our platform is a way to model devices, model data coming in. So you can sort of create this model. Step 2, the second piece of our platform is storage, right? You need to essentially create a memory or have a brain of what's actually happened. You need to recall what things that happened in the past. So storage is actually a really important part. Now you have it all stored, you probably want to start asking questions. You know, what's normal? What has been the baseline for the past month, day, year? How are we doing week over week, month over month, right? You want to do these sort of historical analytics, look back and try to make sense of what happened. That's the third part. So we have device modeling, we have storage, and we have historical analytics. And so you have all those things, but the cool thing about sensors and sensor analytics specifically is it's streaming, it's real time, it's happening right now. And if you can have a system that reacts in real time, that pushes stuff out to you, we're not looking back and saying what happened, we're saying this is happening right now and you might want to take a look at it. So this sort of push system, this real-time monitoring system, that's the fourth component. I can't speak for utilities, but the ones I've met, they usually want to just buy something. They don't want to build something, right? So a lot of times we would sell into a vendor who would sell into utility. And so I'm stereotyping utilities a bit in that way, but I have seen some things changing. I have seen more data scientists on staff. The desire not to just buy a dashboard, but to actually build some intelligence, build maybe a mobile app. And I think one thing that might be driving this is now that we can measure all this stuff, right? The sensors are cheaper, the means of acquisition are actually affordable. Dashboards just aren't cutting anymore. I'm going to go deploy 1 million smart meters. Am I going to make a dashboard with 1 million smart meters on it? No, they can't look at something with 1 million devices on it at once. So this idea of knowing that they have to build their own intelligence, that's the shift I'm seeing. So I think the way that I'm seeing utilities react is saying, if we're not going to be able to just give an off-the-shelf solutions, we at least want the right tools. We can go build our own solution. It's the difference between a push and a pull, right? Let's say you do have a dashboard and you want to refresh it every single second, and I'm seeing the most up-to-date data. At the same time, you have a person pushing a button and just seeing what's happening, right? I think when I think about real time, I think the system is smart enough to let you know when to look at something, right? It's not sort of a human looking at something, okay, what's going on? Like the traditional, like you think of like a network operating center or a NOC, and you just have these screens everywhere, right? I actually think that's a bit of an outdated model. When I think about real time, I think about the system being intelligently kind of nudging you or pushing you, hey, this actually is something that's starting to happen, right? Not just like, okay, some error occurred. This is like the beginning of something, and that kind of gets an idea of predictive. But that's what I think about real time. It's pushing you instead of just having to constantly be refreshing and seeing what's going on. For us, the pickup in things like renewables and solar has actually been a bit greater than smart grid so far. A lot of what we've seen in smart grid is actually in Western Europe, which I think is curious, and there's lots of reasons for that. But what our edge is that we sort of married up the historical side and the real-time side. It's integrated together, right? It's not two different things. For us, the fact that you have the real-time plus historical in one system, and you can query it and ask questions of it in one way, that's our edge. The challenge for us is that we're coming in with a platform, right? Meaning, here's something, it's sort of like when you buy something from IKEA, right? Some assembly required, right? You need to make it your own. You need to configure it to do it for you. And so for utilities, historically, they've just wanted to say, just send me the CD, send me the packaged software, right? I think given the complexity and the amount of devices that are being managed today, that model is going to go away. But we're still in sort of early adopter phase where people are actually differentiating themselves in the market by creating their own unique solutions. And so that's going to be the ongoing challenge for us is, specifically, do utilities have the technical staff to go build something? And are they even incented to? I think it's interesting when I'm here at the conference today and folks talk a lot about distributed generation and the desire to really differentiate by, we're going to measure this, measure that, all these analytics, and we can really prove that that we're worth it. And then the utility, it's always like, people are saying, how can we force them to react in this way? the difference between a market and a monopoly, but I think it's interesting.